What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Savage Studios. It's your boy Savage. Much love, much respect. As always, I love that y'all rock with me, man. I love that the subscriber count is still going up. I love my haters, man. I don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for a lot of my haters, these troll channels who put fake stuff on me. So I want to take some time to just go ahead and thank them as well, because, haters make me famous. Y'all heard that quote. You know what I mean? It's true. It's real. So anyways, without much further ado, let's go ahead and get into the thick of this. I hit the county jail when I'm 18 years old, man. Fresh out of juvenile hall. I went straight from juvenile hall to county jail. So from juvenile hall, they're like, happy birthday, pack up your little stuff. Here goes a jumpsuit. You will be going over to the county jail today. Okay, happy birthday, I guess, right? It is what it is. At this point, I wanted to be out of juvenile hall for the simple fact you had nothing coming in juvenile hall. I mean, they didn't do canteen. If you did order something, you were ordering maybe like a couple snacks here, a couple snacks there, maybe one hygiene item, and that's it. You really didn't get a chance to go and get a full pull or a big amount of store as if you would when you are in county or in prison. So yeah, they sent the hitman for me, I guess. So, I was kind of ready, you know what I mean? It still was a little daunting. It's a little scary. A lot of these grown men, they go to county jail. They still don't got the balls. They get in there. They get scared. Some of them will lock it up and go PC right then and there or try. And see, this was back in the year when you couldn't do that. You go up there and you try to tell the cop that you want to go SMY or PC. The cop would just laugh at you like, get your ass back in the tank, dude. That's a designated spot for only child molesters or rapists and stuff. You know what I'm saying? None of this stuff was real. There wasn't any real traction yet as far as the SNY gangs, PC gangs went. So all they knew in their county jail, how they had it, was unless you came from prison and had already done a previous prison term and had dropped out, then I'd see maybe they would probably let you, they would already classify you and know better, So here I go, I'm 18 years old, 18th birthday, boom, I pull in, I go through every single intake thing, finally get into the dorm. I finally get myself into the jail, into the dorm that I'm gonna be at. And it's a trip, man. It's horrifying, man. It was a very horrifying experience, but at the end of the day, you got no choice. You walk into this tundra, you go down the hall, walk into this tundra. This is West Valley County Jail in San Bernardino, Rancho Cucamonga specifically. It's bar doors. This is Unit 8. Back then, 8 module used to be the gang module. So everyone who was coming into these doors was with the riffraff. So I get in there and all I know is everybody is screaming at me. I got the blacks screaming at me, asking me if I'm a brother. I got the whites screaming at me, asking me if I'm a wood. And then I got all the Southsiders screaming at me, asking if I'm a homie. And a Paisa. I got the Paisas as well. So for a kid who's 18 on his 18th birthday, walking into that with his mattress in his hand, his paperwork, and a fish kit. Fish kit consists of your razor, your soap, etc. in one hand. And these guys are screaming at me. And I'm like, I'm a homie. You feel me? I don't even say that. I didn't know any better, so I just say, I bang my hood loud, right? And they're like, oh, he's a homie. So a homie runs at me, tries to grab my mattress, and I snatch it back, not knowing that that's the protocol. That's what we do. As someone's checking his the new arrival's paperwork, and the other person's giving them the rundown, walking around the dorm as far as which toilets we use, which sinks we use, showers, etc., bunk areas. The other one is making your bed. That's like the sign of camaraderie, whatever you would call that. That's what that is. So I eventually reluctantly, I pull it back, and he's like, nah, it's not like that, G, that's how we do things. And then I hand it over, boom. But in my head, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to take flight real soon. Because, you don't want to get nobody your mattress, but, I got the whole car telling me that's how we do it. So I went from that not scared to the point where I wouldn't have no business and do what I had to do, just scared to the point to where it was like, damn, man, my heart is beating out of my chest, but I'll swing. I'm going to swing on whatever if I have to. If someone tries to play me right now, I'm going to get off. But I'm in this big dorm that is not only one tier, but it's actually one tier and then it's 2 tiers. So it's the bottom and the top, and the staircase is right up the middle, right? And then it's in a circle. So you have, that's A pod, B pod, A, B, C, D, E, F. And then like the bubble, we call it the bubble. That's where the cop sits and can fully rotate to look in everybody's individual dorm. every pod, right? Because every pod's front has nothing but big windows, right? So they can see from top to bottom. Showers, bathrooms, top bunk area, bottom bunk area, showers, bathrooms, same shit. Phones on this side, phones on this side for the blacks, phones on this side for the Mexicans and the whites, and then all the tables, little silver tables, they look like octagon shapes. Boom. Right away, the big homies that were in there, the homies who had clout, the homies who had hit the pin were all gone. And they needed somebody to take over the pod. These fools got at me. They told me straight up, we got no other choice. We have no other option. You have to take this house. That's all they wanted was the house. So I took it. I took the house and I repped it hard. As a rep for my people, I could not put my hands on another inmate, or another homie of mine, which kind of pissed me off because I felt like I lost a lot of my power with that, you know. But I gained a lot of power because I was able to make calls, get people smashed, check paperwork. But I was also responsible of sending the roll call back to the homies that were in high power. I had to send them 20 razor blades because they didn't get razor blades. So we had to go to court, hoop it up our ass, and give it to them, right? We had to give them a roll call of every single homie. And not just our pod, but every pod. Because after being a rep of a pod for long enough, I became rep of A, B, C, D, E, and F. And what you call that is no longer a rep. You call that llaves. You call that having the keys just for that module. Nothing special. But it blew me away because I think I was, 20? 19? Maybe a little bit younger than that. I was a kid still. And I had all responsibility for so many grown men and their fate. I have had people smashed out for fucked up charges or child endangerment, and they would end up still being good. Hey, I was just doing my part. And then there would be people that I would actually give a pass. I would read their whole paperwork, the whole discovery, and understand, hey, you still got to get smashed, but since I feel for you and I actually believe you, I see what you're saying, hurry up and your ass better go run and go press that button to ask the cop to get up out of here, to basically roll it up, because that's how somebody would lock it up. They have to go to the front of the dorm and press the button and tell the cop on the speaker. And no other inmate's stupid enough to go run up and smash on them right then and there, because you know the cop's going to tear you apart. They're going to come in and really rip you apart. Those deputies in West Valley do not play. So at first it was a little hard to take it on, because a lot of homies were older than me. Homies from Maravilla, homies from over here, and they didn't trust me. They didn't like the fact that I was so young, so wet behind the ears running shit. They knew I was with the business. They knew I would take off on anybody. I was a torpedo before anything. You know, a torpedo is somebody who gets his hands dirty. First one to raise his hand, first one to catch a fade. 3-on-1, 2-on-1, whatever on one. If you need somebody to do it, I'm right here. So what ended up winning over the homies over to my side, the older homies and everybody else, was when we had instances, like let's say we get into it with the blacks or we get into it with the whites, I would lead my people correctly. I would be frontline. I would be ready to go. I would be down their throats with pressure. And they would eventually either be like, hey, man, it's not like that. We're cool. Why are you guys don't have to gather up and surround us like that. It's not like that. Or whether it be us getting rushed, blindsided, and your boy standing strong and still catching that head up, fighting 1, 2, 3 motherfuckers, even if I'm losing, still swinging, right? Over time, my name rang bells. Over time, people was respecting it and loving it. So at that point, I had my boy, I'm not going to say his name because he was a real good homie. He's still active. So I had actually appointed him my assistant rep, because every rep needs an assistant rep. At least at the time, that's how it went. The assistant rep would make sure he handles things like collecting for the kitty, which is for new homies who come, and that gives them hygiene, a little bit of food to snack on. Collecting the taxes. For every $10, you gave like $1 or an item, however it was. So I put him in charge of that. I wouldn't necessarily leave him out to dry, so I would help him collect the roll calls and the razor, and we would use the porters who serve chow to every pod to communicate and to get stuff to each other. But other than that, it became quite easy, man. It became quite simple. Dealing with a lot of drama, I had the black rep, I had the white rep, and the paisanos would always talk to me. We made sure to have the best line of communication, just for the simple fact, if someone feels played, someone's feeling shortchanged, they have to be able to come and talk to the representative of a race. And I was always good with the black rep, and the guys before me weren't able to have that good line of communication. But for some reason, I was always able to go in over there and talk to him and tell him, hey, look, bro, you know, your boy keeps spitting in this sink over here, or he keeps taking the shit in the pisser, or he keeps pissing in the shitter. And you know what I mean? Just little weird ass things like that, misunderstandings. And then you understand that sometimes their people are going to be stronger than your people, and your people are going to be strong. It just goes with numbers. Who's deeper? It's sorry to say, but that's the way it goes. Heart is everything, and I've always had a heart amongst a few of the good homies, but a lot of the homies were scared. They were just coming off. They gangbang on the streets, but it's a whole nother environment when you in the dorm with a bunch of grown-ass men, and when it jumps, it jumps. It jumps. So when I ended up going upstate, I didn't really have any bad calls under my belt. I didn't have to answer for anything. I made sure always that the big homies had phone time. I always had somebody from each pod giving them phone time, paying for phone time for them each week. They had the razors, they had roll call. Everything was good. I ran it straight. And just like that, it was that simple to be a shot caller. For a county jail, I collected all the dope, all the drugs for every single pod in 8 module. And then I had to give a third to the back, to the homies in the back. But other than that, I was living lush, and I was a kid. That's how my reputation started, man. No bad calls, nothing that I shouldn't have done. Maybe I could have showed mercy a little bit more. Maybe I could have showed a little less mercy. It just depends who you talk to about that. But at the end of the day, being a shot caller wasn't no big wig. It wasn't no big deal. Hell, they just needed somebody, and I happened to fit the criteria for being a rep. And then from being a rep, what do you know? I ended up being a key holder, having keys for a whole module. So that means I had 15, 30, 50, at one point, maybe 100 sureños under me listening. That, my friend, is how easy it is to be a shot caller. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe and smash that like button. Deuces.